Hey guys, welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. Hope you're doing great today. Want to say hello to all the new subs. Thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out greatly. In the last episode, I built a PC, I repaired a PC, and we checked on our PCBay auctions. If you missed the last episode, I will put a link up in the upper right hand corner. If you missed the episodes where I built the PCs, there were 3 episodes where I built PCs to list on PCBay. If you missed those episodes, just go back a few episodes. I don't think I have enough space to link them all on this video. In this episode, well, we're going to hop into our email and see what we have to do. Maybe. We'll click email. Sometimes it wants to open, sometimes it doesn't. Let's do this first email right here. It says, hello, I need a new rig and I hear you can help. I really want to be able to run Battlefield 1. That game's getting a little old, but all right. I need this pretty soon, 4 days at the latest. I know used parts can be cheaper, but I'd like new ones, please. My brother has Gigabyte in his PC. He says they're the best. All right, so a budget of $3,250 to play Battlefield 1 at minimum spec. Wow, that's a decent budget. Should be able to build something better than minimum spec. I mean, I would think maybe this person doesn't know that Battlefield 2042 is getting ready to come out soon, and they may like to play that even better than Battlefield 1, but you never know. But I think maybe, I don't know, we'll have to see, but maybe we can build a PC to Battlefield 2042 spec instead of Battlefield 1, but we'll have to take a look at that in just a minute. But let's go ahead and accept this one, and then let's do this upgrade since we don't have a fix. Wow, that's a big budget for an upgrade. This one says, hey, can you help me make my PC faster? Can you replace the graphics card with something better? I want 2 GPUs for this build. Can you install an AIO water cooler in it? I know used parts can be cheaper, but I'd like new ones, please. Can you make this your #1 priority, please? Well, Terry's got a budget of $5,250 to upgrade their graphics card and install 2 of them, and also install an AIO water cooler. So for this massive budget, we can probably put a couple of 3090s in this beast. Let's take a look at their stats here. So nice big case. What? An i5 6500. Maybe we should look at upgrading upgrading Terry's CPU as well. Sometimes these things will let us upgrade the CPU. Sometimes they won't. But I feel like SLI 3090s are going to be really imbalanced with an i5 6500. Also, a 750 watt power supply just isn't going to cut it for 2 3090s. Yeah. Even that 6500 with the 2070 Super that they have seems a little imbalanced. It probably does okay for most games, but there's some that are way more CPU intensive. I would think that i5 6500 might struggle just a bit. Just a bit. He's probably leaving some performance on the table that he could get out of that 2070 Super. All right. Well, I'm sure we can do something with this. So let's go ahead and accept that one. All right, let's go back up to this new PC to play Battlefield 1. I want to pull up Will It Run really quick. Let's go here. Minimum spec, 16 gigs of RAM, 6 gigs of VRAM, 50 gigs of storage, an i5 7600, and a GTX 1060 6 gig. Well, I've pulled up the Battlefield 2042 PC requirements and the recommended specs for that game. I think we could probably build a PC to play it. For AMD, we're looking at a Ryzen 7 2700X or a Core i7 4790 non-K, 16 gigs of RAM, so the same for Battlefield 1, 8 gigs of VRAM, so 2 more gigs, so we'd have to step up from a 1060, obviously. An RTX 3060 or a Radeon RX 6600 XT, and 100 gigs of storage space, preferably an SSD. So I can put these requirements down in the description if you want to read through them yourself, but I think we're going to build this for Battlefield 2042 instead of Battlefield 1 because I'm pretty sure we've got the budget to do it. $3,250, decent budget. Decent budget. All right, so I'm going to step away. I'm going to get parts for the upgrade and parts for this Battlefield 1 build put in the shopping cart, and I will be right back. All right, for the upgrade, hopefully they'll let us install this. We're going to put in an i7 7700K just because what they already have in there is a little underwhelming. This 7700K may still be outclassed by SLI 3090s. Anyway, we're going to add some cooling as well, an NZXT Kraken Z73. That's the 360 millimeter AIO water cooler with the display on it. We're going to add another stick of the RAM they've already got, which is the Team Group T-Force Nighthawk white LED, 16 gig, 3000 megahertz. We're going to put in two Nvidia RTX 3090s, and just because we still have tons of budget left over, we're going to throw in an EVGA Supernova 1600 watt P2. And we still have $775 worth of budget. So I guess if we need to get something else, we can. They gave us a lot of budget for this upgrade. It's crazy. All right, for the Battlefield 1/Battlefield 2042 build, we're gonna go with a Gigabyte X570 AORUS Elite Wi-Fi motherboard, a Ryzen 7 3700X, only because the 2700X was more expensive than the 3700X. By about $60. So may as well go with the better one for less money. We're also going to go with an NZXT Kraken X73, 360 millimeter AIO in that one, two sticks of HyperX Fury, 16 gig, 3600 megahertz. We're going to throw in a way overpriced 3060 Ti from MSI because that's the recommended graphics card. We probably could have gone with a 3070, I think, for about $30 more. No, it was $100 more. $100 more for a 3070, but I'm trying to do right at the specs that Battlefield's recommending for Battlefield 2042. We're going to throw in a 4 terabyte Seagate Barracuda, a 2 terabyte Gigabyte NVMe drive, 850 watt Gigabyte power supply. We're going to put all that in the NZXT H700i in black. All right, so next day delivery, we're going to buy it all now. Make sure I've accepted both of these. This one's in transit. Let's go in the day. We'll get everything in and we can get to work. All right. All right. Here's all our parts. Oh, nothing from PCBay today. Must not have bought anything. Here's our upgrade. Good Lord, that's a big case. I was not expecting that to come out of that box that was on the floor. And here's our case for the Battlefield build. Let's go ahead and grab this Post-it note, and we'll get that put on the workbench. All right, so let's see what we can do with this monster. Holy cow, this case is big. How do I get to the power supply? Oh, here we go. Here we go. I need to get everything unplugged. This is a monster of a case. I don't know if all this needs to be unplugged, but I know this graphics card needs to come out. And this air cooler needs to go. Oh, there's their 1 stick of RAM. Let's see if they'll let us replace this CPU. Let's see. It's this PC. Oh, nope. They're not going to let us, I don't think, because this says property of. Usually they don't like it when we're... So this is going to be a really imbalanced build. We can use that 7700K for something else. It's fine. It won't go to waste. Won't go to waste. Let's see. We'll put the cooler up in the top. Oh, geez. Can I replace the power supply? That's the big question. Because this 750 watt, I don't think is going to cut it. In fact, I'm positive it's not going to cut it for two 3090s. Let's see. Power supplies. No, it just says use, so we're good with that. So let's get this 1600 watt power supply put in here. Oh, that's way overkill. That is way overkill. That's all right, though. Let's get the new cooler put in here. We were doing the Z73 for this one. So let me get that installed up here in the top of the case. There we go. And then let's add... Oh, I need to go open up. I don't like where this RAM is. I don't think it's in the right spot. So I'm going to swap it No. That's not what I wanted to do. So I'm going to swap it. Yes, yes, I know. Over to this slot. And then I want to add the other one over here. There we go. And then we've got two 3090s to put in here. Yeah. Okay. Oh, right. Oh. These are 3-slot. Oh, gosh. Oh, I think I removed the... Oh, are these going to fit this motherboard? This is going to be interesting. Oh, my gosh. So there's one, and... Okay. Oh, those aren't going to breathe well, and we got the crappy SLI bridge. Just because this motherboard I don't think is really made for these. Yeah, it's not going to let me install it further down. I was hoping maybe it would let me install it in another PCI slot, but that is not going to happen. I guess they're just getting the crappy Band-Aid PCI or SLI bridge. Oh my gosh. It looks terrible. It looks pretty terrible. Okay, so I don't think they asked for different color cables, and I believe they had these orange ones. Maybe it was different orange cables. Oh, it might have been these. It might have been these. Well, this is what they're getting. This is what I selected. Let's see if this thing's gonna work. Okay, so everything's plugged in. Will it power on? Let me hop into the BIOS real quick. Can't even overclock this. I can turn on XMP to get up to 3000 megahertz, so that's good. And they're booting from a hard drive, okay. Got almost $3,000 worth of graphics cards in here, but we're booting from a hard drive. Not something I'm going to change for them. Wasn't asked to, so this is what it is. Let me get this case put back together. This is something. Two 3090s and a i5 8400. Isn't that what it was? An 8400. Oh, geez. Kind of want to run a 3D mark on this, but because I bet it's pretty terrible. Okay, after thinking about it for a minute, I really want to run a 3D mark on this. So you guys can skip this. I'm gonna fast forward or skip over the whole 3D mark run, but I really want to see what kind of score this gets with the i5 8400 and two 3090s. So I'm going to let this thing reboot. I'm going to get 3D Mark started. And as soon as it's done and I have a score, I'm going to come back and show you guys. All right, there you have it. 14,541. Graphics score of almost 30,000. 29,555. With a CPU score of 3,749. CPU test pulled not quite 13 frames. So, you know, in CPU intensive games, I think they're leaving a bunch of performance on the table there. But hey, you know, whatever. We gave them what they asked for. I was just curious. All right, let's get this thing out of here so the owner can have it back and do whatever they want to. With that, let's get on with this Battlefield 1 build that we're actually going to build to Battlefield 2042 specs. Let's see here. Let's get this thing taken apart. I think we're going to put... We've got a 360 going in here, and I think I want to put it here in the front. So let's move these front fans up to the top. Also, let's get rid of these SSD mounts. I just don't think they look nice, and I don't think the game cares if I remove them. So let's grab these case fans from the front, get them up here in the top. And the last one here. There we go. All right. Oops. Let's get our motherboard in, not our CPU. We can't put that in yet. We've got the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Elite Wi-Fi. We had a little bit of extra budget we probably could have put in, or not probably, I know we could have put in a better motherboard. The problem is the better motherboards have these M.2 covers on them, and most of the SSDs in the game don't like, or at least the good ones, don't like to work with these covers. You'll see what I mean when we get to installing that. Let me get this thing ready for RAM and CPU here. So let's grab our CPU. We've got the Ryzen 7 3700X. That's the 8-core 16-thread. For RAM, we've got some HyperX Fury 16 gig, 3600 megahertz. So we're going to have 2 of these. So we're going to have a nice 32 gigs of RAM. Should be really good. Really good for Battlefield. I know it recommends 16 gigs, but, you know, 32 is definitely better. All right, as for storage, let's come down here. They wanted a gigabyte, or they wanted as much gigabyte stuff as we could put in there. So we're going to put in a gigabyte Aorus 2 terabyte NVMe drive, but it will not fit here. See, I cannot select that. It'll have to go down here because it has a cover on it. It has its own heat shield, so you can't put it under one of these. Not really a big deal, except for when motherboards have nothing but covers, or the whole piece down here is covered. Then it becomes a deal. So we had to go with a cheaper motherboard that actually was lacking in covers. All right. Oh, I forgot to take this off. There we go. Let's get some CPU cooling on next. We've got down here the NZXT Kraken X73. We're going to install that right here in the front. And again, if you're wondering about what the Battlefield 2042 PC specs are that I'm building this PC to, those are down in the description. Let's see. Let's grab our power supply. Where is it? Here it is, the Gigabyte Aorus 850 watt. We'll get that installed. And then we'll come around to this side because I've got a little more storage to go in here. We've got the 4 terabyte Seagate Barracuda. They're going to have plenty of storage in this PC. 2 terabytes on an NVMe and 4 terabytes via an old school spinning hard drive. All right, let's get the graphics card in. We've got, where is it? We've got the MSI RTX 3060 Ti Gaming X Trio. And we will get that installed. All right. Let's get this thing cabled up. Then we can kind of get stuff put back together. Let's do some cyan. Because Battlefield 2042's colors have sort of a cyan look to them. So we're going to give this a little bit of cyan. Get everything's cabled. Hard drive's all cabled. That is all good to go. Let me get some of this case put back together. Let's clear that out. We've got the PSU mount to go back here. Then we should have a dust filter and a front panel for the front. No dust filter on top, but we do have a top panel. And then we've got both side panels to go on. I think we can go ahead and put this side panel on as well. So we should be done inside the case. Let me grab a USB drive, get that installed, and we're going to get this sucker booting up. Oh, the colors are crazy. We're going to have to fix that. But before that, I want to hop into the BIOS. I want to turn on XMP so we can get our 3600 megahertz out of that. Make sure we're booting from the correct drive. There we go. We'll let this thing install the operating system. All I want to put on here is the lighting app, so let's get that installed just so we can get some colors to match. Let's select everything except for that down there, and we're going to go with cyan. It's a little too green. Let's dial it back to a little more blue. Maybe even a little bit more. Oh, that might be too blue. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. All right, let's take a look at this thing. I think it turned out pretty nice. Not a bad build. Not a bad build. And it should be able to play Battlefield 1. There we go. So we've met the minimum spec for Battlefield 1, and according to the internet, we've met the recommended spec for Battlefield 2042. So this customer should be really happy no matter what Battlefield game they want to play. So, oops, that is not the button I meant to hit. Let's go put this out in the hallway, and we can collect some money, and then we will check on our PCBay auctions. All right, so for the upgrade. With the new graphics card, my PC is humming, and it's all new parts, top job. So I guess they were happy with two 3090s and an i5 8400. All right, well, all right, we'll take it. We will take it. Let's see, where is the one for Battlefield 1? Hopefully they like this one. 5 stars. They built me a great PC. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Let's see if there's anything that we can't live without being sold on PCBay. RTX 2080 Ti blower. I've never been a fan of the blower style cards, personally. All right. Let's close all this junk out, get it all out of the way. Let's come to PCBay here. Got the broken PC for $1,010 with a 3800X and an RTX 3080. Ooh. That's tempting. I'm wondering what's broken about it. This is not tempting at all. A 5600X and a 750 Ti for $667. I'm going to buy this 750 watt power supply. And against my better judgment, I think I'm going to buy this broken PC for $1,000. All right. I'm done buying. Let's take a look at our stuff for sale. So our first one is up to $935. Next one is up to $1,626. Heck yeah. $1,276, $1,124. Let's scroll down. $23, $22, and $23.30 with 3 days remaining. So obviously in the next 3 episodes, we're going to continue to check on these until they actually sell so we can collect all that nice cash. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified as soon as a video goes live. Also, if you want to help support me, there's a link to my Patreon down in the description. There is also a join button right next to the sub button where you can become a channel member. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there, guys. And I will see you in the next episode.